Zealand had the chance to go to Tokyo, we still had to pay our own hotel and airfare. But Rai actually got the hotel because he was speaking. But most of us had to fly there on our own budget. But we had the chance to go to the Code with Claude in Tokyo. So I think I mentioned that before. That's the third part of the Claude Developer Conference. First one was in San Fran, second one in London, and then Tokyo. I had the chance to meet Boris just in the hallway. Boris is the founder or the creator of Claude Code. He had the keynote on the second day and was quite cool to see him speak. But what he also showed was a screenshot of Slack, the internal Anthropic Slack that said September 2024. Yeah, 2024. Hi team. Over the weekend, I created this thing. It's using the Claude API. It's got some tools to read and write and search files. I gave it some code or some prompt around it. It's pretty strong in writing code. It got 2 thumbs up. That's the beginning of Claude Code, right? So there's about 25 comments that came with it as well, but the initial Slack post for Claude Code, it had 2 thumbs up and about 20 words. So Anthropic is very much a startup. I talked to a whole bunch of their engineers and sales and customer reps, and everyone says the same. Anthropic is a startup at heart. There are 5,000 plus people across all continents, but at heart they're still working as a startup. The community team that looks after us ambassadors, up to about a month ago, was 3 people. And when they opened up the applications for ambassadors, I was in the first wave, kind of the demo, and then they opened it up to everyone to apply. They get 125,000 applications worldwide. So if you have applied to be an ambassador, they will get to it at one point, but it's hard, right? So if you see bugs, if you see things not working, give them a little slack. They're working on it, but they have scrolls rather than to-do lists. So Code with Claude, 2 days, about 500 people each. The biggest thing really was Fable 5 and Mythos launch. They were great while you were in the public. They showcased a whole bunch of things there. And then the other big takeaway, really, even for me, who lives and breathes AI news, the landscape is changing very quickly, and it's like not just in the developer world, but things are changing so fast that even people from Anthropic, even people that are in this space, like sometimes struggle to keep up. And like being in Tokyo for 4 days, 5 days, felt like I've lost a month, because like I couldn't do things, I couldn't look at new things. So there is really a bit of a feeling from many people that you talk to that there is going to be societal change that's coming through, and it's not going to be 5 years away, right? Things are moving, a lot more people are using AI, a lot of businesses are using AI. The way we work is changing. And if don't think the way you work will be changing in the next 12 months, the next 5 years, you probably should look at your worldview, right? This is not about instilling fear. This is a chance for us. You're here, you're already ahead of the curve, but the way your work is changing, and so have you. I have spoken to a hiring manager here in Sydney, and he was saying, look, I've just came into the team about 8 months ago, and he's starting to hire new people. Some people left, and everyone he asks, or everyone he interviews, designer, PM, that he asks, hey, what's your expectation from this role, and where do you see the role being in 6 months or 12 months? And 30% of the people say, look, AI will change how I work. We don't know how this is going to go. And those are the 30% that get a chance to get hired. Where he says 2/3 of the people come into his office and they're like, oh no, I'm a PM. I have 15, 20 years experience. Why should AI change my workflow? That's the end of the interview for them, right? So be aware for your own business, for your own job, like learn these tools. Otherwise, like the world will go on. That was a bit doom and gloom, but also an opportunity, right? When you're building things, build for the next model. Build with the next model in mind. The models are changing dramatically in capabilities, especially if you had a chance to look at Fable. It's a different beast. It's like, hey, this feels like it's actually thinking about a problem, exploring different opportunities, goes back, looks at other paths, goes back, and then makes a decision on where it wants to go and develop things, right? I had it running for 4 hours analyzing code bases and designing a whole, like turning a platform from a single tenant to a multi-tenant. And I told it to go and build a plan first and look at everything, and then it wrote all the planning. And then by the time I came to the implementation, Fable was gone, and then I had to implement it with Opus. But it still helped that I had the plan. We heard a little bit about, how do we evaluate things? And so if you're building not just with AI, but if you're integrating AI into your products, have evaluations. When new models come along, they change things. Even a 4.7 to 4.8 or a Sonnet minor change will change how things behave. And if you're using AI in your software to make decisions, don't just blindly go and update to the latest version. It will change your behavior. So have evaluations for the frontier models, and especially for those that you want to use, and update them. Keep your prompts alive and make sure that you test them regularly. And treat model upgrades as features. Again, it goes in the same direction. Don't just like, oh, there's a new model, go. Like a new model brings a new feature. Evaluate what the new features will bring to your software or to your processes, and then find out what you can change or what you need to change to make use of the new features. Don't just blindly upgrade. For the software engineers in the room, everyone has worked on a software. They're like, oh, if I only could rewrite this, right? We only take the team for a month or two, and then we have it built again in Java, in C++, or in Rust. It will only take a month. But what you forget is it will never only take a month, and you're gonna introduce bugs, and the development of your software is gonna stall during that time. This was from Jared Summer from Bun, the Bun team. Bun is the JavaScript runtime that runs the Claude Code and desktop. Hey, hello. Runs Claude Desktop, and Bun was acquired by Anthropic about 6 or 8 months ago, and so Jared moved in with Anthropic, and they had their runtime built in Zig, a lowish level language similar to C, and they experimented before with, hey, could we rewrite this in Rust? Rust has a broader developer community. Should we do that? And it would have they did estimations. It would have taken their whole team of 15 or 20 people a year to rewrite the, I think, 11 million lines of code. It's just not possible because you cannot suspend the development of Bun for a year. So it was never done. It took one engineer with probably close to unlimited tokens, and probably access to more advanced models than Opus, but it took one engineer 11 days. And after the 11 days, their test suite was at 99.7% completion. 11 days, 6,780 commits, and apparently 0 tests deleted, so they didn't delete anything. They got more performance, they got a lot more out of it. But what this showcases is if you're on an older code base, you can change things. Spotify had the same. They had a presentation. They have, I don't remember how many millions lines of code. You wouldn't think that, but that's what they have in the background. And they couldn't keep up with updates of Java packages and other language packages and other language features and refactorings, because everything had to go through so many cycles and reviews and tests, and it's just so many packages, it was just impossible to keep up. With now integrating Claude and automations, they push out changes across the whole code base in hours, what took months before. I think they do over 1,000 PRs a week or something like that. So start looking at what is possible with these things. Don't just use it for your own development workflow. The other big one was managed agents. So far, Claude Code runs on your computer. If you're doing some experimentations, you can push things to the cloud. You can run things in cloud environments if you have seen that. But generally, things run on your computer. Claude Cowork on your computer. And then we have all these OpenClaw and Hermes and NemoClaw and whatever. Those also run mostly on your computer or on a Mac Mini or somewhere on a VPS in the cloud, but it's technically still your computer. But the dream really is that we can outsource agents to the cloud, and that's what managed agents is really. So managed agents, you go to the platform, the platform.claude.ai. You can create a managed agent. A managed agent has a model, has a prompt, has a tool config, your MCPs, and that is reusable across sessions. And then you give it an environment. An environment, for those that know what Docker or VMware is, that's essentially you set up an environment with environment variables, or you give it a remote environment, which can be your computer again. You have to run something on your computer, and then you can connect to the cloud agents. And then you have sessions. A session is a chat, a set of messages that goes between the user and the agent. It has memory, where Claude can put memory of things into a memory store, retrieve things from memory. And this is almost like a file system, so you can have multiple memory stores per agent. And then you have an API that you can kick off. You can start a session, and the agent runs on Anthropic hardware or on your hardware if you have a remote environment. And now it can do things. It can go to APIs. It can go and check your mail if you have it connected. And it runs while you sleep. Your laptop doesn't have to be open. You can go and grab the results when it comes back, or you write the results to Google Drive or to Notion or something like that. So managed agents for your business processes is something you should go and look at. Another big one is that experts now can build their own things. We heard that a little bit before from Marie. She might be a business expert, a use case expert, right? But to build things, we used to need people like me, software engineers, and we want high wages, and it takes forever to get stuff done. But now what happens, the domain experts can actually go and experiment. They can go and build their own thing. They can get it to work for themselves. They can share it with their domain experts in their team. So what does this mean for you in your businesses, right? You have someone that is really, really good at looking at investments at companies, right? Should we invest in that? Capture that knowledge, let them use co-work, let them write an little application, let them optimize and put all of their knowledge from the last 20 years into that application, and he can do it, or she can do it now. They can build something, they can use it, and if this is working, then you can still take it to your software team and integrate it into your platform and share it with the rest of the team. You probably, if this is really business knowledge and business know-how, you probably still want to get an expert on the software side to look at. Don't just do everything in Claude. Again, use the tools where they are the best. I found this one interesting, kind of the technological steps that we went through, spreadsheets in the 80s, the web in the 90s, smartphones, and today we're at the point where software, it feels almost, it builds itself, right? You can start very quickly to build things like that help you in your daily business or in your daily life. And this a couple of shots from Tokyo, if you've never been. This was, for me, was the first time. It was an amazing city. I didn't see nearly enough from the city in the few days that I was there. Tokyo Tower, the bento box that we have for lunch. And it's pretty cool if you ever watched the YouTube recordings of the Claude events, and then you suddenly, I was like, oh, I'm right there. I can actually see that stage right in front of me. So if you ever have a chance to go, then definitely try and go the little Claude on Mount Fuji. All right.